Book description: The unforgettable story of a mother and son fleeing a drug cartel to cross the U.S.-Mexico border. Editorial reviews, Amazon.com review. An Amazon Best Book of January 2020, Lydia Quixano Perez runs a bookstore in Acapulco, Mexico, where she lives with her husband, Sebastián, who is a journalist, and their son, Luca. When a man starts visiting her store, buying books and striking up a friendship, she has no idea initially that he will be responsible for turning her life upside down. But Lydia and Luca will have to flee Acapulco, setting them on a journey they will share with countless other Central and South Americans turned migrants. There is very little I can say about this novel that hasn't already been said, and it hasn't even been published yet. The buzz has been building early, and when it does go on sale it will likely be one of the most talked about and widely read books of the year. From the colossal opening chapter to the epilogue, American Dirt is a novel of crisp writing, urgent pacing, and remarkable empathy. It deserves the attention of a large audience. Chris Schloop, Amazon Book Review. American Dirt just gutted me, and I didn't just read this book, I inhabited it. Everything about this book was so extraordinary. It's suspenseful, the language is beautiful, and the story really opened my heart. I highly recommend it, and you will not want to put it down. It is just a magnificent novel. Oprah. American Dirt is a literary novel with nuanced character development and arresting language, yet, its narrative hurtles forward with the intensity of a suspense tale. Its most profound achievement, though, is something I never could have been told. American Dirt is the novel that, for me, nails what it's like to live in this age of anxiety, where it feels like anything can happen, at any moment. Maureen Corrigan, NPR's Fresh Air. This tense, illuminating novel takes off like a rocket. People, Book of the Week. This novel is a heart-stopping story of survival, danger, and love. The New York Times. I devoured the novel in a dry-eyed adrenaline rush. A profoundly moving reading experience. The Washington Post. A heart-pounding, page-turning, can't put it down, stay up till 3 a.m., adrenaline-pumping story that examines, with sensitivity, care, and complexity of thought, immense, soul-obliterating trauma and its aftermath. Los Angeles Times. The story is masterfully composed of timeless elements, the nightmare logic of grief, the value of human kindness, the power of love to drive us to do the unimaginable. Cummins proves that fiction can be a vehicle for expanding our empathy. Time. Destined to be a classic. Woman's Day. Heartfelt and hopeful, American Dirt is a novel for our times. Thrilling, epic, and unforgettable. Esquire. Stunning, remarkable. A novel as of the zeitgeist as any, American Dirt is also an account of love on the run that will never lose steam. Vogue. This one will tug at your heartstrings. Marie Claire. The very best novel I've read about immigrants and the best novel I've read over the past year. American Dirt is being compared to The Grapes of Wrath, and the comparison is apartment. San Francisco Chronicle. Pulse pounding. Chicago Tribune. As literature, American Dirt is modern realism at its finest, a tale of moral challenge in the spirit of Theodore Dreiser wrapped inside a big-hearted social epic like The Grapes of Wrath. American Dirt is going to be the defining book of 2020. New York Journal of Books. Propulsive. L. I strive to write page-turners because I love to read them, and it's been a long time since I turned pages as fast as I did with American Dirt. Its plot is tight, smart, and unpredictable. Its message is important and timely, but not political. Its characters are violent, compassionate, sadistic, fragile, and heroic. It is rich in authenticity. Its journey is a testament to the power of fear and hope and belief that there are more good people than bad. John Grisham. American Dirt is both a moral compass and a riveting read. I couldn't put it down. I'll never stop thinking about it. Anne Patchett, #1 New York Times best-selling author of The Dutch House and Commonwealth. Why do we read fiction? By immersing ourselves in the lives of fictional characters we gain emotional depth, breadth, and empathy. We become more human. I have never felt more changed, or challenged, by a book than I have by American Dirt. It's truly a revelation. Ellen Hilderbrand, #1 New York Times best-selling author of Summer of '69. Relevant, powerful, extraordinary. It is a remarkable combination of joy and terror, infused always with the restorative power of a mother's love and the endless human capacity for hope. I hope everyone reads it and is as moved by it as I was. Kristen Hanna, #1 New York Times best-selling author of The Nightingale and The Great Alone. Riveting, timely, a dazzling accomplishment. Jeanine Cummins makes us all live and breathe the refugee story. Julia Alvarez, author of In the Time of the Butterflies. American Dirt is an extraordinary piece of work, a perfect balancing act with terror on one side and love on the other. I defy anyone to read the first 7 pages of this book and not finish it. The prose is immaculate, and the story never lets up. This book will be an important voice in the discussion about immigration and lost migrants. It certainly puts the lie to the idea that we are being besieged by bad hombres. On a micro scale, the story scale, Where I Like to Live, it's one hell of a novel about a good woman on the run with her beautiful boy. It's marvelous. Stephen King. From its heart-stopping first sentence to its heart-shattering last, Cummins's story of immigrants is just what we need now. Gritty yet sensitive, realistic yet hopeful, grand and granular, American Dirt by Jeanine Cummins is a grapes of wrath for our times. Don Winslow, author of the New York Times bestseller The Border. The most gripping thriller you'll read this side of Marathon Man. This thing goes harder than a Lee Child novel and the writing sings. Deserves to be a Gone Girl level hit. Joe Hill, #1 New York Times best-selling author of The Fireman and Heart-Shaped Box. Jeanine Cummins writes with such grace, compassion, and precision that I could not stop reading. Erica Sanchez, author of I Am Not Your Perfect Mexican Daughter. This is a book that's both hard to read and hard to put down and will no doubt spark a lot of conversation. Real simple. Time to sink into American Dirt. Entertainment Weekly. This book is not simply the great American novel, it's the great novel of Las Americas. It's the great world novel. This is the international story of our times. Masterful. Sandra Cisneros, author of The House on Mango Street. American Dirt is an urgent, blistering, unforgettable book. In her portrayal of Lydia and Luca, a mother and son forced to leave their Mexican home, Jeanine Cummins has given face to migrants everywhere who flee violence and near certain death in search of only one thing, a chance at life. Beautifully written, thrilling in its propulsive force, American Dirt is a new American classic. Tara Conklin, author of the New York Times bestseller The Last Romantics. The story of the migrant is the story of our times, and Jeanine Cummins is a worthy chronicler. At once intimate and epic, American Dirt is an exhilarating and beautiful book about parental love and human hope. Rumaan Alam, author of That Kind of Mother and Rich and Pretty. Urgent and unforgettable, American Dirt leaps the borders of the page and demands attention, especially now. Sarah Blake, author of the New York Times bestsellers The Postmistress and The Guest Book. A powerful, moving, and unforgettable read. Reina Grande, author of The Distance Between Us. This tough, powerful novel is an eye-opener. It made me understand better why someone would give up the home they know and love to survive, and the grit required to cross that border. It is essential reading for our time. Tracy Chevalier, best-selling author of Girl with a Pearl Earring. This extraordinary novel about unbreakable determination will move the reader to the core. Publishers Weekly, starred review. Lydia and Luca are utterly believable characters, and their breathtaking journey moves with the velocity and power of one of those freight trains. Intensely suspenseful and deeply humane, this novel makes migrants seeking to cross the southern U.S. border indelibly individual. Kirkus Reviews, starred review. American Dirt may be the don't miss book of 2020. Booklist, starred review. Cummins is a skilled and empathetic chronicler of trauma and its aftermath. American Dirt is an immersive story, fueled by the elemental love of a mother for her son. Minnesota Star Tribune. This gripping story of a mother and son on Mexico's migrant trail combines humane intentions with propulsive, action movie execution. The Guardian. This is a book everyone should read. Woman and Home. This powerful new novel promises readers a ride they'll never forget. She reads. About the author. Jeanine Cummins is the author of 4 books, the best-selling memoir A Rip in Heaven, and the novels The Outside Boy, The Crooked Branch, and American Dirt. She lives in New York with her husband and 2 children. Product details. File size, 4,878 kilobytes. Print length, 387 pages. Publisher, Flatiron Books, January 21, 2020. Publication date, January 21, 2020. Sold by Amazon.com Services LLC. Language, English. ASIN, B07QQLCZY1. Text-to-speech, enabled. X-ray, enabled. WordWise, enabled. Lending, not enabled. Screen reader, supported. Enhanced typesetting, enabled. Books comparison reviews on Amazon.com. Read the description below this video to get the link order to buy this book.